26, Ministry of Information and Media, head total 190,845,686. Any debate? Any objection? I see none. I put the question. The question is at head 26, Ministry of Information and Media, head total 190,845,686 stands part of the estimates. As many are of that opinion, say aye. Aye. Of the contrary, say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Head 26, Ministry of Information and Media, head total 190,845,686 is ordered to stand as part of the estimate. We make progress. We now move to head 39, Smart Zambia Institute. Head 39, Smart Zambia Institute, General Policy Debate. Acting Leader of Government Business Policy Statement, the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs.
Chairperson, I'm most grateful for this opportunity to present the policy statement on the 2024 estimates of expenditure for Head 39, the Zambia Institute, Smart Zambia Institute, Electronic Government Division. 1. The mandate. Chairperson, the Electronic Government Division draws its mandate from the Electronic Government Act number 41 of 2021, which aims to enhance the promotion and management of electronic government services and facilitate access to electronic government services to improve service delivery. 2. Broad functions of the division. Among others, the division has the following functions. 1. To develop strategies and standards that enhance the usage and application of information and communication technology innovations in the public sector. 2. To develop supportive and enabling shared infrastructure for equitable access to effective and appropriate information and communication technologies. And 3. Design and develop appropriate applications for the support of e-government and other services. 3. Review of the 2023 budget performance. Chairperson, in the year 2023, this House approved a total budget of 196,568,233 kwacha and a supplemented budget of 241,925,536, bringing the total authorized budget to 438,493,769. As at 17th October 2023, a total of 356,940,501 or 81% of the total authorized budget had been released for the division's programs. Chairperson, as at 31st October 2023, the division's key achievements were as follows. 1. Electronic government. The division developed and launched the National Electronic Government Plan covering the period 2023 to 2026. The plan provides for the policy and strategic focus of the public sector digital transformation agenda through enhanced coordination towards improved provision of electronic services to the citizens. ICT systems. Chairperson, the division connected a total of 72 public service institutions to the government-wide area network. This included 51 district administrative offices and 9 health facilities. The total number of public service institutions now accessing shared ICT services as well as unified internet using the GWAN now stands at 348. This has resulted in ease of communication and institutions are now able to implement information systems to improve service delivery. For example, the division, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and its cooperating partners, recently connected 8 health centers in Osaka district to the government-wide area network and implemented a telemedicine system for patients on antiretroviral therapy. This system has improved the quality of care as well as reduced waiting time for HIV-positive patients scheduled for doctor's appointments. The cost of transportation has also been reduced as patients are being attended to at health centers closer to their homes, yet they still have access to medical experts from the Advanced Treatment Center through the use of the internet that has been deployed. Chairperson, in addition to the GWAN, the division piloted 10 sites in selected districts with the low-orbit satellite technology, which was aimed at improving internet services, especially in rural areas and other key public institutions. Management support services. Chairperson, as the country transitions towards a digital economy, inclusive digital transformation is one of the main priorities towards the realization of a sufficient and effective delivery of services. In this regard, the division developed and launched its first ever strategic plan covering the period 2023 to 2026. The division has also developed and launched its service delivery charter in an effort to provide a framework for transparency, accountability, and continuous improvement in service delivery. 5. Budget for 2024 estimates. Chairperson, in the year 2024, the Electronic Government Division has been allocated a total of 458,930,430 kwacha. This translates into an increase of 20,436,661 kwacha from the 2022 total authorized budget of 488,493,769. Chairperson, in 2024, the division will continue to implement its functions through 3 programs, namely electronic governance, ICT systems, and management support services. Electronic government program. Chairperson, this program will enhance the implementation, utilization, and application of electronic government initiatives in the delivery of public services. This program will be implemented through 3 sub-programs, namely Government Digital Services, ICT GRZ Standards and Regulations, and the ICT Help and Service Desk. ICT System Program. Chairperson, this program is aimed at improving connectivity, facilitating the strategic application of electronic means in the delivery of goods and services in key sectors of the public service in a secure and safe ICT environment. This program will be implemented through 3 sub-programs, namely ICT infrastructure, ICT applications, and ICT security. Management and support services. Chairperson, this program is aimed at providing administrative and logistical support as well as human resource management services to the division. 6. Focus for the 2024 budget. Chairperson, in the year 2024, the division will prioritize the connection of the remaining district administrative centers and all the local authorities to the government-wide area network. This is aimed at enhancing operational efficiency at the district level and supporting the implementation of the decentralization policy. Chairperson, the rollout of the government-wide area network will be complemented by low-orbit satellite technology in the provision of high-speed, low-latency internet access, particularly in regions with limited telecommunication infrastructure. In this regard, a total of 525 Starlink kits will be deployed to provide internet in the underserved and difficult to reach remote areas and parts of the country. This will guarantee the availability of government electronic services closer to more people. Chairperson, in improving quality health care, it is estimated that the heart of the government, and in this regard, the division in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, will deploy the Smart Care Plus system in 600 health facilities. Conclusion. Chairperson, in conclusion, I implore members of this August House to support submissions presented under Head 39 for the Smart Zambia Institute. Chairperson, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Any further debate? Mr. Kambita.
Mr. Chairperson, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to debate Head number 39, the Smart Zambia Institute. Mr. Chairperson, this head is particularly concerned with implementing an electronic government. And Smart Zambia Institute was hatched for the purposes of enhancing government systems, electronic systems, and indeed digitalizing government systems. And this was enhanced by an act of parliament which we passed on the very floor of this House in 2001, the Electronic Government Act number 41 of 2021. And the Act now guides how this is rolled out. Mr. Chairperson, I'm particularly elated by the pronouncements that have been moved by the Honorable Minister, giving us direction that now there is a proper technology policy in place, which now gives us a clear implementation path in terms of how we shall implement ICT in this country, in particular that which is related to government operations. Mr. Chairperson, I'm also elated by the fact that the Act gives birth to the e-government division, which falls under the office of the President. And the electronic government division has a clear mandate, which the Honorable Minister has now disseminated on the floor of this House. Mr. Chairperson, by the provisions of the Act, systems have been put in place and now operationalized in a policy. And you've heard it will be very important for us as officials of government to take keen interest in reading the IT policy that the Minister has alluded to. Because without you understanding the IT policy of government, you will not understand certain bottlenecks in case government has challenges in implementing certain things that need to be followed according to the policy. So it will be very important for all of us members of parliament to understand this policy. Mr. Chairperson, the reason for all this was to have a platform where shared data, including systems, would actually be achieved, where government systems would be integrated. You noticed the challenges that we had at the Ministry of Lands not too long ago, because these systems are standalone. But if they are integrated, it's very easy to identify certain things. Probably property may be sitting under the Ministry of Education, could quickly be put on title when the systems are linked. In that fashion, we will be actually speaking to the same database and the same group of data, and we'll be tapping from the same sorts of transactions. As transactions are generated from one point, they are also received by another point of government. And this way, it creates a very efficient government. And this is how it should be. Mr. Chairperson, communication is also enhanced when systems are elaborate in this fashion. And I've seen efforts being put in order to ensure that connectivity is enhanced. We need to speed up the connectivity in rural areas and far-flung areas so that this is achieved. A school in Katonto should be able to speak to the headquarters here in Lusaka through connectivity. Mr. Chairperson, electronic transaction processing approvals are also improved in that fashion when this is happening. However, in doing all these good arrangements that you have put in place, we need IT literacy. IT literacy is a problem, Mr. Chairperson, in this country. You've heard of the so-called BBCs, born before computers. And there are some actually seated in this house here who might not even be technology literate. We have had challenges here sometimes even in voting, where our team has been teaching and teaching. People are taught several times. It's because of technology literacy. So I'm just giving an example, just to encourage all of us to take keen interest in learning technology. Now, to achieve that, we need to start it from the basics. Our schools need IT equipment. At the moment, we're still grappling with few computers here and there. Schools are scrounging around, very few PCs. We need computers in schools. We needed also an update from you, Honorable Minister, about the program of putting up a computer hardware plant in the country. I'm sure the visit by the head of state to China must have given birth or must have enhanced that program so that in future we should be producing our own computers and schools need to have computers. Mr. Chairperson, we also need to know that IT equipment is quick depreciating. Because of the nature of IT equipment being quick depreciating, it requires regular maintenance. There has to be a program and a plan to make sure that the equipment we're using is in tandem with current technology, because it quickly depreciates. And without a proper policy around replacement of equipment and enhancing technology to catch up with what is going on in the world, we would be lagging behind. As you have seen in some places, I've seen in the water sector. I've gone to some of these water plants. They are still using very old pumps and the like because they have not caught up with current systems. So we need to avoid that and enhance our technology in that fashion. But to do that, we need to have a policy of developing and continuous improvement, continuous learning. I heard you make that pronouncement about continuous improvement or continuous learning. This particular field requires continuous learning and continuous improvement. That needs to be provided for in the budget. Mr. Chairperson, also we need to segregate users in IT. There are high power users and low power users. If you don't have a proper policy on acquisition of hardware, you will be procuring, high-end technology equipment for low power users. So we need to categorize users. Schools, for instance, they don't need, Core i7 machines, 12th generation or whatever. They don't need that. They just need a basic PC which they can learn from. But, for instance, auditors, at Auditor General's office, they have high power users. They need the high-end machines, and those maybe engaged in land survey and the like. They need the high power users. So we need to categorize this. Even as we acquire equipment for the government, we need to categorize users so that we do it appropriately. But that should be embedded in the IT policy of government. Mr. Chairperson, I'd like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to make these pronouncements on behalf of the people of Zambia towards Smart Zambia Institute.
Mr. Zulu.
I thank you.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity. Chair, in the first place, I don't support this budget in a sense that the amount given to Smart Zambia does not support the activities. This is an institution which should be given enough funds because as a country we are far much behind in terms of ICT. First and foremost, let me talk the Health Smart Care Kit. Smart Health Care Kit. We are looking at the clinics or health centers across urban areas where we find network. But a good number of people who need this facility are those who are in remote areas. Because these are the people who need to communicate easily to wherever they need to communicate. What has happened in this country from time immemorial, we do not think beyond Lusaka, neither do we think beyond the rail line or the tarmacs. This is the biggest problem as a country we have today. Smart Zambia should be working together with the Ministry of Science and Technology to see to it that in rural areas are connected so that even the schools, clinics who are there, it will be easier for them to implement whichever government program they are implementing. Today, a chairperson, if we had the Smart Zambia in areas in our valleys, surely the Ministry of Lands would have not been giving people 120,000 hectares of land to an individual. Because the system would have detected that how come this person, just an individual, is getting all this land and the title is offered. If you had infrastructure in these areas, it would have been easy for us not to be having people failing to receive medicine in these areas because we would have used drones to detect the GPS, the coordinates in those areas, and would have sent the drone to deliver. And it's very cheap to send a drone to deliver than sending an ambulance to go and deliver 2 kg of fancied, the new one called the malaria drug, which is, I don't know. So, Coatam. So if you look at that, these are the things as a country should be looking at. There was a time in Zambia when this science and technology had moved. And at a certain point, we stopped. Maybe to those who are born recently, the young ones, you may wish to know that at one point Zambia was even planning to go to the moon. But all that technology has gone. No one has taken it up. So what am I saying? We need first to let the kids in Shangombo, the kids in Chikwasha in my constituents, are able to use the basic computers. Today, we look at ITC as the Vamayadi type of kids who should be learning this. Our villagers' kids, they don't even know how a smartphone looks like. So how do you think we are going to move and catch up with people in town? So, Chair, my point I want to connect here is that we need government to move into rural areas so that the country can start moving at the same pace with other people. Today, those who are coming from rural areas, for them to start operating a computer is when they go to a boarding school. And when are we going to train them how to, when they go into government, somebody has to know the details of the computer when he's at tertiary education. That should come to an end. Thank you, government, for your idea to connect councils countrywide to Smart Zambia. And this is how it should be. When we start doing, working with, if we connect with councils, that will be the beginning of reducing bureaucracy in these councils. This will be the beginning of reducing maybe mischiefs or whatever illegal activities happening in the councils. And I wish this we can complete connecting councils by at least 2025. We are done. That will be good for the country. Otherwise, the issue of empowering, even just empowering council who are collecting, some of the councils who are collecting money for rights, whichever they will do, this will be very simple for them, because where we are now as a country, I don't think we are moving at the rate for me I wish to move. Today, Smart Zambia was supposed to be telling us that we're going to make a lab for AIs. But it's not even there. If it's there, thank God. But these are the things now we should be moving as a country. Chair, I get disappointed when I go to countries in Africa who were behind comparing to our country. They have moved, they are doing AIs. They can design. And the thing is that we have people can design anything in this country. We have so much intelligent people who have gone to the other country to do beautiful things for others. You go to a country, they tell you, oh, this is Mr. So-and-so, is from Zambia and is heading the department. This pains me. Why is it that as a country, we cannot look at resources and see to it that we empower these people who are good at this? My Minister, acting government leader, is that next year, when you sit as executive, let's see to it that we start increasing money. I don't see this as a service. For me, I look at a money spinner project which can, one, reduce the cost of doing business for the government, which can also start raising revenue for the government. So when we look at everything as an expense, this is the reason why we're giving people less than 196 million. This is very embarrassing for us as a country. If we need to move, let's start know how to spend in projects like this. I know it's very difficult for us politicians to appreciate this. But a politician like me, who believes that whatever is done in Europe can be done in Zambia, we need money in this department. Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Mr. Nkulukusa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson, for giving me a few minutes to comment on this very important wing. And of course, I support the budget that is given to it because of the strategic nature of what ICT does to industry. First of all, Mr. Chairperson, I want to say Smart Zambia plays a very critical role in ensuring that they deploy ICT in all sectors of the economy, and it is these ICT deployments that make these sectors very competitive. I don't know which sector today we can talk about that, if left out on the deployment of ICT, can really achieve the 21st century results. Look at the medical field. Today we talk about India and many other destinations when it comes to medical tourism. They are taking advantage because they've deployed ICT in the medical world and ensured that they've gained the competitive advantage that they require. So I want to underscore the important role of deployment of ICT in any sector. It is sometimes not good when we hear that FISIP is facing challenges because the deployment of ICT is facing challenges there. I think we need to ensure that we pool resources together and ensure that we use ICT as our enabler to every aspect of our economy. Smart Zambia and the role of ICT are responsible for making Zambia as a smart destination. And when we talk of a smart destination, we are looking at a destination that can be accessed on the fingertips of investors, tourists, and any other that are within their comforts of their destinations, but they can access the country and find what it has to offer. And this is very critical if we are to sell Zambia, for example, for foreign direct investment. First of all, these investors would like to know about the country by, first of all, seeing what is deployed in ICT and ensuring that they can access the investment opportunities before they even make the decision to travel to that destination. So it is very critical that ICT and Smart Zambia starts putting strategic issues in ensuring that we attract investment and tourism by making Zambia a smart destination. The other thing I wanted to talk about, Mr. Chairperson, is the role of Smart Zambia in what we are calling the accounting, the satellite accounting system in the tourism sector. I think we have missed a lot of data and a lot of statistics on how the tourism sector is contributing, because we needed to develop and complete the satellite accounting system a long time ago. I think we started struggling with this around 2018, and we are still struggling. Today, we may not make very, very specific decisions on how much the contribution is coming, how much the earnings are coming, and how much we are performing as a country, because statistical data can only be gotten if we have the help of ICT that is deployed in this. So I would like to encourage and urge Smart Zambia to continue working hard, but specifically ensure that this satellite accounting system in the collection of data in the tourism sector is completed as soon as possible for us to gain the competitive advantage that we require in terms of data collection, quality decision making, as well as to see how we move forward. I also want to look at the issue of how ICT can be deployed in whenever a country makes a strategic direction. I'm sure we all know that currently the New Dawn government has really moved in a strategic intent to actually decentralize both human resource and fiscal decentralization in the name of CDF. And whenever you take a strategic intent and a strategic direction as a country, there are four most important components, if not three, that are critical. Number one, you've got to decentralize the human resource, which I feel the New Dawn government now has moved full gear to second some of the people to go to the councils so that we have the manpower. Of course, we have already decentralized fiscal decentralization, which is resources have gone down to the councils. But we need now to take ICT deployment in the monitoring and managing of the CDF, so that we have a complete set of how we need to have dashboards of someone doesn't need to come and ask how much CDF has been used. Those returns can be on the dashboard by people just feeding into ICT, and the whole country can actually report progress. It is very important that wherever we are taking resources, in terms of financial resources, we need to take ICT as well. It reduces the cost of doing business, it increases efficiency, it gives us effectiveness, but also it protects the resources that we are taking in those areas. Mr. Chairperson, I just wanted also to end by giving an example. I think it was a good benchmark through your office. We had an opportunity to visit Rwanda and see how a company or how an organization equivalent to Smart Zambia called Urembo or Irembo is performing there. And if you look at it, they've made it a government bus on all ICT program and delivering almost all services that government really puts in through this Urembo. And I think for me, it's a good benchmark to go and see how efficient it is delivering, including the distribution of medicines in hospitals. They are all actually being tailored and being delivered, driven by this organization, so that there is efficiency. When the medicine is going to expire, how much is at that hospital? And this has made, according to them, that pilferages and other losses have reduced from 25% to only 5%. And so we could see how ICT plays a very critical role in increasing competitiveness, results, as well as ensuring that effectiveness of the country moves forward. So this is a very critical department. This is a very critical vote that we must put resources, support to ensure that the country becomes smart and ensure that we become more competitive. We are competing for resources in the sub-Saharan Africa, SADC region to be precise, and we need to ensure that we may not have the resources South Africa may have, more especially in competition, but if we deploy ICT, it becomes a game changer and we can all compete and ensure that the platform is leveled. Mr. Chairperson, I support this, and the people of Katuba are happy to support this because we know it is going to give us good results. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mwando.
Thank you, Chairperson. The people of Chama South, Chairperson, are in support of this head, but on the following conditions. We are talking about ICT, Smart Zambia. Their job is actually to provide e-governance. Various departments should be able to be synchronized for easy data management as well as efficient government operations. But what we miss when we talk of e-governance, are we owning some of these applications, hardware, including software, as a nation? That should be the beginning of everything. African countries, we are mostly affected by our consumptive behavior. Are we allocating money to ensure that Smart Zambia, for example, starts manufacturing the hardware components of what they are using? That is what will bring permanent jobs. That is what will actually build the economy of this country. The question of manpower and skill is not there. Honorable Chairperson, when I was in China, a very high-powered delegate from the Chinese government told me that you have the best brains in Africa. You are not different from us. Don't be lied. You are no different from the West. God made us the same. But it is the decisions which you leaders make which has made you to remain where you are. In short, I'm simply saying we need to start thinking of raising capital, enough money for Smart Zambia, to set up manufacturing plant of the tablets. If you look at this budget, you'll see procurement of ICT. Where are they procuring these ICT materials? It's from developed countries. But here we are, with smart people, well trained in ICT, who are just maybe concentrating on coding. It's a good idea, Honorable Minister, that applications should be developed locally. But we should go further. The security of these applications will only be guaranteed if the hardware is also developed locally. You can imagine you are importing a chip from Huawei, from HP, from many other hardware developers, which at times can be a security risk. We've heard superpowers, Honorable Chairperson, banning certain devices in their countries because they believe that they contain spywares in them. So for me, as much as I'm excited to see this budget, which is quite reasonable, can we go further by deliberately creating an ICT production center? It's possible. Our cooperating partners, if they really love us, why not bring them here instead of visiting Huawei? Why not call Huawei to say, can we start producing these things locally ourselves, using our own engineers? Why not send our technocrats to go and learn there on how some of these gadgets are made? We have a challenge. I'll give an example. Ministry of Lands. We had a software there which was the Zilmis, which could be looked at any time by the developers outside the Zambia. If they don't want you to use it, or if you don't just own up, they will inconvenience you. not long ago, University of Zambia website went down because the owners of the servers were in UK. Why not own the servers ourselves? Can't we do it? Smart Zambia? If the answer is yes, we can do it, we should be talking about giving you resources. Enough resources that will be able to give you also connectivity. We are celebrating Elon's internet provision. Why not ask Elon to launch a satellite for us instead of paying subscriptions through Smart Zambia? Something that will have our control. And it's not very expensive. I've contacted a few friends in the US. They are saying it's not very expensive. So Smart Zambia, I believe the next time we'll be approving your budget, we need such proposals. Proposals for you not only to be just a center of consumption for foreign hardware, but a center of excellence for the creation and modernization of this ICT material. Honorable Chairperson, the people of Chama South will be very grateful if through Smart Zambia, some of the applications that the government is using in urban centers are also extended to rural areas. Because the consumption of some of these services are only here in towns. And yet we've put towers in rural areas which should be able to make the rural dwellers also enjoy some of the applications. We are in support with that condition, Honorable Chair.
Order. We have a lot of business that we have to complete. The acting leader of government business to wind up debate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me this opportunity to wind debate pertaining to Head 9, Smart Zambia Institute. Mr. Chairman, I would like to appreciate the submissions that have been made by my colleagues pertaining to this particular vote. Most of the issues which have been raised are supportive of the Institute. Proposals have been made that should be taken into account by Smart Zambia Institute. However, Mr. Chairman, I've taken note that some of the debates that have been made by my colleagues should not have been made pertaining to the debate that is currently under discussion. Most of the views pertaining to innovation, establishment of institutions and factories to manufacture ICT gadgets are issues that should have been raised when debating science and technology. The views are being appreciated. Yes. But I think those views should not have been brought to an institute like Smart Zambia. Smart Zambia is particularly concerned with the provision of services to government institutions. The other views pertaining to provision of ICT services to the general public should be raised when we are debating science and technology. Mr. Chairman, with those few remarks, I would like to thank most sincerely for the support that has been rendered to the vote for Smart Zambia by my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Head 39, Smart Zambia Institute, head total 458,930,430 kwacha. Any debate? Any objection? The question is that head 39, Smart Zambia Institute, head total 458,930,430 stands part of the estimate. Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Minister, I refer you to page 422, program 3415, electronic government. Under electronic government, on the non-financial assets, in 2023 budget, there was 455,000 kwacha, whereas in 2024, there's 74 million kwacha. What type of assets are we acquiring to necessitate this increase, a sharp increase in the budget allocation, which I don't see from the table of outputs or deliverables? Thank you.
The acting leader of government business.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, if my colleague can just repeat the particular provision.
This is assets. And on page 422, which is electronic government, and we're talking about non-financial assets. So the budget allocation for 2024 is 79 million kwacha to acquire assets under Smart Care Plus project, which is basically digitalizing the health sector. Now, what has necessitated this increase in the budget allocation for this capital expenditure, which on the table of deliverables or outputs, the assets that you want to acquire are not listed? I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the increase relates to the services which we are going to provide. This is the increase will cater for the acquisition of ICT equipment for the planned smart care system to be deployed in 600 health facilities throughout the country. The system is currently being used in teaching hospitals, first-level hospitals, and other health facilities. The provision will also cater for the acquisition of ICT equipment for the planned establishment of 14 digital transformation centers.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Mr. Sampa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Honorable Minister, on page 421, program 9005, procurement management. This year there was 630,000, and next year it will be 1.2 million. Mr. Honorable Minister, it's procurement, so it's increasing almost 100%. Procurement, buying computers, buying Zoom facilities, the big TVs in the offices. My question is, I have not seen training, because most of these ICTs in the offices, they are accumulating dust, hardly used. I remember when I was mayor, the TV and everything is there, but hardly does it get used, even in ministries. Where is the training? We keep buying and buying, and these computers and these Zoom facilities hardly get used because maybe our civil servants don't know how to use them. How do you reconcile that? We're just buying computers, but we're not budgeting for training. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The acting leader of government business.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, you may note that there is a provision which you have made pertaining to capacity building, training, and other support services for all the members of staff that have been deployed throughout the country under Smart Zambia.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I put the question. The question is at head 39, Smart Zambia Institute, head total 458,930,430 stands part of the estimate. As many of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Head 39, Smart Zambia Institute, head total 458,930,430 is ordered to stand as part of the estimate. We now move to head 87, Anti-Corruption Commission. Head 87, Anti-Corruption Commission, the acting leader of government business, policy statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. I rise to present the estimates of expenditure for the Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC, for the year 2024. Article 235A of the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia, Amendment Act number 2 of 2016, as well as the Anti-Corruption Act number 3 of 2012 establishes the Anti-Corruption Commission with the following functions. A, prevent and take necessary and effective measures for the prevention of corruption in both public and private bodies. B, initiate, receive, and investigate complaints of alleged or suspected corrupt practices and, subject to the direction of the Director of Public Prosecutions, prosecute cases of corruption and related offenses. C, with appropriate bodies of other countries that are authorized to conduct inquiries or investigations in relation to corrupt practices. And E, adopt and strengthen mechanisms for educating the public to respect the public good and public interest. Mission statement. Chairperson, arising from the functions outlined above, the mission statement for the Commission is to prevent, investigate, prosecute corruption, and educate the public in order to safeguard public resources and promote fairness in service delivery. Vision. The vision for the Commission is A, credible anti-corruption institution for a corruption-free society. In addition, the Commission's strategic plan has 3 thematic focus areas. 1, operational excellence, resulting in efficient and effective service delivery. 2, anti-corruption excellence, resulting in transparency and accountability in service delivery in public and private sector. And 3, communication and collaboration, resulting in stakeholder support. Overview of 2023 budget performance. Chairperson, I'm glad to report to this august House that the fight against corruption has continued to gain momentum and has started to bear fruit. This government is determined to win this fight and ensure that any persons or entity that is bent on engaging in corrupt practices is seriously dealt with in accordance with the law, regardless of social status or political affiliation, and whether serving in government now or before. I wish to reiterate that all past, present, and future corruption shall be aggressively confronted and no one shall be spared. We all know that corruption takes away the much-needed resources for development. And with the increased allocation of constituency development fund, there is need to constantly check that corruption is not allowed to creep in. Wherever corruption shows its ugly head, the corrupt should be treated with the highest level of contempt, and society should despise any individual or firm that get involved in it. Chairperson, in 2023, this August House appropriated a total of 172,468,944 kwacha. The allocation covered the following programs: 1, corruption investigations and prosecution; 2, corruption prevention and education; and 3, management and support services. The following are the highlights of the Commission's successes achieved by third quarter of 2023. 1, 254 investigation cases have so far been concluded. 2, 57 individuals have been arrested and charged for various corruption offenses. 3, the estimated value of properties under investigations which have either been restricted or seized is over 477 million kwacha. 4, 27 cases have been concluded before the courts of law and 14 convictions have been secured. 5, 17 integrity committees have been established, while 31 have undergone induction training on their roles as integrity committees. 6, a mining symposium was held recently with a view of engaging stakeholders in the mining industry to take up the responsibility of coming up with anti-corruption interventions in this sector. 7, the Commission sat in over 47 meetings for the evaluation of applicants for award of constituency development funds. The measure is for enhancing transparency and accountability in the processes. 8, an estimated 5 million people were sensitized with anti-corruption messages through lectures, exhibitions, roadshows, workshops, press, social media platforms, radio, and television programs. And 9, the Commission has opened the provincial office in Chinsali for Mchinga province and also opened district offices in Serenje, Nakonde, and Ndola. Chairperson, the total budget estimates for the Commission for the year 2024 is 108,804,688 kwacha. This allocation represents an increase of 5% from the 2023 budget allocation of 172,468,944 kwacha. The allocation will cover expenditure in the 3 core programs of the Commission aimed at: 1, enhancing the detection and combating of corruption through investigation and prosecution of cases; 2, strengthen corruption prevention interventions; and 3, intensifying public awareness programs. I now wish to appeal to the Honorable House and members of this August House to support the estimates of expenditure for the Anti-Corruption Commission. Chairperson, I thank you.
We don't have much time, so I urge the House that we should not finish the entire 8 minutes. At most, if we can do 4, then that will be fine. So the Honorable Member for Chasefu, Mr. Nyambose.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson, for giving the special people of Chasefu an opportunity to debate this very important organization called Anti-Corruption Commission. Chairperson, my debate today will focus so much on the mandate and the office itself. And I want the attention of the officers more than the minister. The mandate of the Anti-Corruption Commission is to prevent, investigate, prosecute corruption offenders, educate the public on issues of corruption,
to safeguard public resources, promote fairness in service delivery as provided in the Section 6, Subsection 1 of the Anti-Corruption Commission Act number 3 of 2012. Chairperson, as known by everyone that corruption takes away resources meant for development, the mandate stipulated clearly from this act gives an opportunity to the department to do what they are employed to do. And Chairperson, I will take you to the figures. If you look at 2022 allocation was 101 million. 2023, 172. 2024, 180 million. This budget is slightly lower by 10 million that budget of the Ministry of Information. A ministry. And this is the department. What does it speak to? It speaks to the political will, the highest political will from the New Dawn administration. From 2022, when they took over power, they saw that they gave that increment. 2023, again increasing. Why? The president is speaking to this nation on zero corruption. From the day he was sworn in, he emphasized that, and every time he talks about. But the department itself is not living to the expectation of the Zambian people. Chairperson, these people have a mandate. Appointment of the DG alone is not enough. It calls for mindset change. It's not business as usual that we are appropriating monies to this department and no major outcomes coming, especially to people who have high social status and politically connected people. The people who have convicted here, most of them are minor. The Zambians expect us, especially politicians, who have pilfered and taken money from the Zambian people. No convictions. 2 years. No one is mentioned. The civil servants, you have integrity committees. What major benefit are we getting from integrity committees? It is just like Chongororo Club we had in school. Because if you have integrity committees, what result do we have? We must have a change of attitude and safeguard the resources. Alas, the opposite is happening. So this department is not ordinary. Next time I'm here, I will not support any increment beating a ministry if we don't have convictions on politically connected people. The danger to this nation are politicians. We have come here, instead of service to the people, just the politicians in the First Republic, Kaunda time, we have come here to make money for ourselves. CDF is not spared. When CDF was increased by this government, there was celebration. I thought it was a joke. What is happening in our constituencies? The value for money from that CDF is shrinking. The amounts are being increased because of corruption. There are little benefits we are getting because they will tell you that 1x3 classroom block is 1.2, 1.7 million. When a 1x3 classroom block can be done by 650,000 kwacha. Chairperson, this Anti-Corruption Commission is expected by the Zambian people.
Order, Honorable Member for Chasef, there's a point of order. Mr. Chairperson, I was restraining myself. I didn't want to raise this point of order. You can state what has been breached. Order 65. Verifiable information. Honorable member, instead of referring to himself as a politician who is corrupt, Honorable Chairperson, just understand me very well. Instead of referring to himself as being a politician who is in this house, who is corrupt, is referring to us. Is he in order to refer to us, including me, that we are here as corrupt politicians, not bearing in mind
that we are here to speak for those people in Karabo who are not able to sit here. Is he in order, Honorable Chairperson? Thank you.
Order. The Honorable Member for Chasefu is completely out of order to generalize that members of this House are corrupt. That statement didn't sit very well. I immediately seek for him to retract that statement. He has to retract and apologize to the House.
Chairperson, I retract that statement. But I'm on firm ground.
Apologize.
I apologize unreservedly. Chairperson, I'm on firm grounds. Especially the previous regime. When I say politicians, Chairperson, the previous regime, most of them are in the corridors of the courts because they've amassed wealth which they cannot explain. We know it is a fact. And the moment we don't hammer those, we will not deter those who do it. Let's save this country. It's our nation. We should be of service and not make money for ourselves. Chairperson, this department is very critical in safeguarding resources. We need money for development.
Order, there's a point of order.
Chairperson, you've guided the Honorable Member of Parliament. If he was corrupt when he was a unionist or where he was working, not to generalize. If he has evidence of any corruption, he can place it on the table here. If he says the previous regime is painting everybody black, Chairperson, our democracy thrives on freedom, on rights. Everybody has a right to be looked at as innocent, even when accused. The man here is generalizing, even after you ably guided him. And I don't know why. I know he applied to be on the PF ticket. He may still be very bit. Chairperson, is it in order to defy your ruling, which guided him adequately not to refer to his colleagues as corrupt? By now, even segregating members of this House for political expedience. Chairperson, I seek your very serious ruling on this matter.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I guided you. Honorable Member for Chasefu, you may have evidence, because it's in public domain, that some members of the former ruling party are in court. I think every Zambian knows that. But don't include those that are here that may be innocent. So I think you should draw a distinction. If you were to talk about those cases that are in public, that one is in public domain. Everyone knows that most of the people were found with cases to answer the former regime. Yes, that one is in public domain. So restrict yourself from that point of view.
Thank you very much, Chair. It is a topic of so much emotion to me. Chairperson, the guilty are always afraid. We must clean society. And the President has made it very clear. Corruption is a cancer that erodes society. We need to rid of this. My apologies for generalizing. But some have just been cleared. Some have been cleared. So these things are facts. So we must cleanse this society, Chair, and help our President, who means well to this nation. Chairperson, we must deter those who would be offenders. And I'm appealing to the department. Please save this country. Come to our constituencies. These things are happening. Do not fear us. Those who fear, that's why me have taken this path. I don't fear. You may say anything. Fear is not part of my DNA. You can say anything. If I'm a wrong person, check me. I've never done anything wrong. I know I'm not immune. I'll do something wrong. But those who have that lust, maybe they want to commit, let them not do so. Because such wealth you will never enjoy. You even not, me, I don't have even Bagra bars in my house, not even an office. Some of the offices built these by former regime. It's like they are in Benghazi as well. What are you fearing? This is our country. Live at peace. So the president, when the president speaks, it's like he's weaponizing you as a department. The mandate already gives you that room to do the best for this country. Never should we wait for the president to be reminding us, do something, do something. The people think that the president is persecuting individuals. The mandate is enough to tell you that you report for work, follow us. We do wrong, we should go in. If we do the best, we don't fear, you go and answer. But some have just been cleared. May God bless those who have been cleared. I hope that those who have not been cleared, they should go in, hammer them. I present my support to this budget. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Mr. Mngandu.
Mr. Speaker, I need your protection. Mr. Speaker, as we support SEC, this is a backbone of our economy and corruption commission. Clearly, why do I have 3 minutes, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, so we've not changed standing orders. No, we've not changed standing orders, I think. This house is the house of rules.
Honorable member, may you continue?
No, but the timing, Chair. I need 7 minutes. Is it 8 minutes? It's up to me to, because that's what the standing orders say. So we should not be reducing time. The standing orders are saying 8 minutes, so I should be given 8 minutes. Then probably I'll use 4.
Yes,
No, the other one is spoken for 8 minutes. Why should I be given 4 minutes? So IT, put 8 minutes there. I want to continue. No, I will not. I will not until they put 8 minutes. We can't progress like that. No, we can't progress.
Order,
like that.
I think the IT, what they did was the time I was trying to plead with honorable members that we should allow as many as
Yes, but let me be timed 8. I can assure you I'll use maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
That's how it should be. We are following standing orders. We are talking about the law.
Give him the extra 3 minutes.
Yes.
You'll be given, I'll add when time finishes.
But we should not progress like this, Chair. Standing orders are standing orders. People are suspended for breaking standing orders. But why should IT break our standing orders? Our standing orders are saying 8 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Chairperson, Anti-Corruption Commission is the backbone of the economy of this country. It is. We can't have the corrupt going scot-free. I'm not an advocate for arresting readers even without proof. The law doesn't operate like that. Everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty. It is the evidence that the Anti-Corruption Commission establishes or induces before the court which will make the corrupt get convicted. It is as simple as that. White-collar crime, Honorable Chairperson, is committed by very advanced individuals like ourselves and technocrats. And in most cases, they hide their route. No wonder the Anti-Corruption Commission and DEC are now using the Forfeiture of Proceeds of Crime Act because it is difficult to establish evidence. The courts work with evidence. The question that we should be discussing as members of Parliament is, are we making laws which are adapting to the evolving levels of crime or criminality? That is what we should be interrogating. Anti-Corruption Commission, working together with other law enforcement agencies, our appeal to you, do you need us to revise our laws in order to net even those that are involved in complicated white-collar crime? We are hearing of certain compensations that are being, consent judgments that the Minister of Justice, Attorney General is entering. How do you explain an individual being sued in his own private capacity, then the state is compensating? A typical example is Kaiza Zulu. There are few individuals who sued him, but how can the state pay compensation? We need SEC to immediately move in. You need to move in to interrogate. Don't fear. You know, we should reach a point as Zambians where our integrity and the interest of the nation should become supreme over our well-being in terms of employment. I want to tell you that if I were you, if I'm being intimidated to say, why are you touching this person, I'll resign. God will look after you. God will come and look after your children. I've not done anything wrong. Why should I resign? We want a morally upright society. This is the only way we'll build this country, Mr. Chairperson. So, Anti-Corruption Commission, some of us sympathize with you, because white-collar criminality is so complex. Fight past corruption. If it means amending the laws, it's so complicated, we are here. But also look at the current corruption. People are watching, and whatever is happening, we are all watching. I've just given you one example, where a few individuals sued an individual, but the state goes into a consent judgment to compensate on behalf of an individual. That is corruption that you need to move in and investigate. Actually, we need a report from Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate some of these consent judgments. Are they salient features? For example, malicious prosecution, I know we have lawyers in here, are certain elements. Let trial be, if possible, be exhausted. This is something that is damaging this government. Those of you who are excited. And for us in the opposition, we are going to talk without fear or favor. So, Anti-Corruption Commission, we trust in you. If it means some of you being arrested because you are doing something right, let it be so. Just know that the Zambian people, your children and grandchildren to come, will hold you in high esteem. That is the Zambia that we want. I think I'll leave 3 minutes. I support the head, Honorable Chairperson.
Mr. Kamboni.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Through minerals, we lose 65% of the minerals extracted in this country through the back door. That money could be saved for the budget we are talking about now. Now, before I come to that, let me look at what anti-corruption needs. Now I'll talk to the minister. The capacity of the workers is little. The anti-corruption is only in 11 districts. That's not enough out of 116. And in provincial offices, we need to employ more. You look at towns like Mazabuka, it's huge. Nakambala is basically, some small countries are like Mazabuka, but you don't have even a single officer for anti-corruption. We need to do something. We are employing many people in the police force, immigration, teachers. We need so that these can save the revenue of the country. So my request is, could we have in each district where possible. Even this year, we cover maybe half the districts out of 116, so that we can have officers. Because how do I go from Mazabuka all the way to Choma or Lusaka using my own expense just to go and report? I think that's not the way it should be. So we need these officers to work in the borders like Livingstone border, Nakonde, all these. We need to have the officers. We need to have them also in areas where they can do the prevention. CDF is all over now in 136 constituencies. The anti-corruption workers could be there to guide and help, because they are not only there to arrest, but also to prevent and to guide, morally and in many other areas. So there is need to have more officers for anti-corruption. May I also take this opportunity to thank the New Dawn government or the UPND government for equipping them at least well. I have seen new vehicles with anti-corruption, and we have to say thank you to the government. You have done a fantastic job. But we still need more so that we can have these anti-corruption workers in all the areas that we need them. You see, you have said one of the areas is to prevent corruption. How do you prevent corruption? Is to get major plunderers arrested. On that call, we have not done very well. Surely the whole institution, only 27 cases we have concluded. How many corrupt people do we have in this country? How many corrupt people do we have in this country? You go in any area, there are so many, only 27. I think these numbers don't lie. You started very well, but somewhere along the line, no, something went in wrong. There's something you need to do to help this country. We're in a crisis. The people that plundered the economy have now regrouped. It's actually in fashion now to be plundered because you know you want to be arrested. And how do you prevent if others are not being arrested? I think we need to love this country and protect the resources. The government is giving you the money, please do your job. There, do your job. Yes, you don't have the capacity, you are small, but the pace, improve it. Something's not right. You had started very well, but along the way, something happened. And as you do your work, stick to professionalism. Don't allow politicians to interfere in your work. No. You were trained to do a job, do it in that fashion. No one should come and say, no, do it this way, no, look at this, no. Please. Professionalism, and if you follow the professionalism you were taught.
Honorable member, don't speak direct to the witnesses.
Well, the angle, yes, Chair. Your angle is equal to where they are. Thank you very much, Chair. So now, what I'm trying to say here is, I think they need really to save this country from corrupt people. The plunderers have regrouped. They have come now with a lot of vigor because they have seen no one has been arrested. We had so many cases, fire tender, what have you, but now it's silent. It's silent. Fire tender was a big issue. The whole country was up in arms. It's all silent now. And we seem to be seeing small ones are the ones who are being arrested and not the big ones. So I think really even ambulances and many other cases, please, could you please up your game? Up your game, and that way, that will be the best prevention. Now, I said 27 cases are not adequate. I don't know where you face challenges. I think you need to sit down, strategize, and see how you can circumvent this so that we can have many cases being concluded in a year. And out of 27, only 14 convictions. This does not tell how much money goes through the back door. I was just saying from the minerals part of view, there was a report here where 65% of what is being extracted goes through the back door. And that's not very good. But you can prevent all these resources because we need money even to sponsor you, to buy computers, to take in this district. That's the job we're doing here. We're looking at the money. So I think I don't want to spend much of your time. Up your game. From the ministry point of view, please, let's have these officers in each district. That I'm sure we can do. Whether it's taking us 3 years, we need to expand and equip them. Then they'll need more vehicles, more computers, more accessories. With those few words, I would like to end here. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Mtachalo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson, for giving me this opportunity to say some few words on this particular head 87. I think I'll just go straight to silent points. I have seen here that in 2024 there's 180 million, and then 33 million is going towards corruption prevention and education. Then on the corruption investigation and the prosecution, 94 million. I thought that more resources are supposed to be channeled towards the corruption prevention. It's like we are trying to promote corruption so that we can prosecute these cases. Mr. Chairperson, the issue of corruption, we have been talking about corruption. We are not going to win this war against corruption as long as we don't build strong and autonomous institutions of good governance. Obama told us when he was in Accra, told the Ghanaian parliament, Africa does not need strong men. Africa needs strong institutions of good governance. When Kaunda left office, we were told that Kaunda and UNIP leaders stole money. But after investigation, there was nothing at all. So I want to appeal to this House. It's us who make these laws. Let's make sure that we put in place strong institutions of good governance so that these institutions can stand the test of time. Even the DG and the other officers should enjoy security of tenure. But at the moment, they are at the mercy of those in authority. SCC, we are ready to support this head, provided that you are going to be impartial, you are going to be proactive, you are not going to be used to settle political scores. Because the Anti-Corruption Commission has been perceived to be settling political scores. Why is it that we are investigating people when they leave office? Why don't we investigate people when they are still in office? We have so many cases of allegations of corruption happening even in this government. We have single sourcing fuel, drugs, fertilizer contracts, but these are not being investigated. So, to me, I feel that we shall be changing governments 100 times, but as long as we don't build strong institutions of good governance, we'll be wasting our time. Even when UPND leaves, it will be the same. So, as long as we build strong institutions of good governance, then we are going to win the fight against corruption. Let's not engage in malicious prosecution. If you look at the figures, the people have been arrested and conviction, it's not a success story. It clearly shows that we are not fully investigating these cases before we are taking these matters to court. People are saying that, no, you have to clear yourself in the courts of law. That's not being fair. Let's investigate. Let's have enough evidence before we take this matter to the court of law. Taking people to court, it is expensive, time wasting. At the end of the day, someone is inconvenienced. And then we are promoting that SCC, DEC, police must be taking matters to court just like that, because these figures do not really give a good impression. Forfeiture of profit of crime. I believe that this particular law is also being abused. It's like we are promoting poverty in this country. If we're not careful, we'll be going back to the one-party state when we had seated, where someone buys a vehicle, you have to give receipts. How do you bought a television or a vehicle? So I'm not promoting promoting corruption, but I feel that this particular law is being abused. Why is it that we are only targeting Zambians? We have a lot of foreigners here in Zambia who have amassed wealth which they can't explain. But we don't see SCC visiting them. We don't see DEC visiting them. They have laundered the money. But here someone has got 1 million in the account, you go and freeze the account. Surely in this day and age, what is 1 million, 2 million kwacha? So for me, I feel that as long as we don't build strong institutions of good governance, we'll be wasting our time. My appeal, let's not try people in the court of public opinion. We have an impression that politicians are thieves. I do not think that politicians are thieves. If you look at civil servants, senior civil servants, look at what they own. It takes two to tango. So we have concentrated very much on the politicians. Politicians don't even sign on checks. I don't know whether the minister signs on checks in ministries. They don't sign on those checks. So it's quite unfortunate that we have zeroed in to politicians. So I want the Anti-Corruption Commission to be proactive. I'm sure that the Director General, who is a colleague and our former lawyer, I'm sure that he will be able to take the fight against corruption at a higher level. So with these few remarks, I say I support this budget, but be proactive, be impartial, and don't be pushed by politicians to settle political scores. With those few remarks, I say thank you.
The acting leader of government business wind-up debate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be very brief. Mr. Chairman, I would like to state that the Anti-Corruption Commission have been doing a very commendable job in this country. We must realize that the criminal justice system in this country is court-driven. It's not the Anti-Corruption Commission that determines when the case can be concluded. Their role is to investigate. After investigation, they seek the authority of the DPP to prosecute. Once the matter is taken to court, the court takes over the process. The anti-corruption or any investigation or prosecution wing cannot determine when the case can be concluded. It is not the responsibility of the Anti-Corruption Commission to convict anyone. If there are no convictions, don't blame the Anti-Corruption Commission. There are other wings of government that are involved. I'm also alive to the issues that are being raised by members of the public and members of this August House pertaining to the corruption fight. Some of the issues I cannot bring them out here. Obviously, we are all concerned as members of the public. You are aware that in the immediate past, universities were supposed to be built in Ruapula, in Tumsha, in Kasama. Millions of dollars were paid, but up to now, there's only grass there. And when the Anti-Corruption Commission moves in to investigate, people allege tribal issues, and you attack the Anti-Corruption Commission. It is the responsibility of all of us to support the Anti-Corruption Commission in this fight. The fight of the Anti-Corruption Commission is not their own. They are there to fight on behalf of the people of Zambia. So we should give them all the support. Mr. Chairman, we are aware that currently the Anti-Corruption Commission and other investigating wings have used other processes and measures to recover what has been lost through corruption and other means. They have used other processes which they are invoking to ensure that properties are recovered. In the last 1 week, we recovered more than 35 million kwacha and other properties from individuals. The fight against corruption in this country, I know it's slow. Wheels of justice are usually slow. But eventually, those who are culpable will be found wanting. As we fight corruption in this country, I would like to appeal to all of us not to trivialize the fight against corruption and start talking about tribal issues that people are being investigated based on their tribal. Were those people committing corruption on behalf of the tribe? The answer is no. Criminal activities are personal. They are personal. You do not commit crimes on behalf of a tribe or a nation. And when people are found wanting, they should answer personally, not because of where they come from. I also want to confirm, Mr. Chairman, that there are people currently who have been serving in this government who are appearing in court There are so many senior officials, permanent secretary, directors who are appearing in court for corruption. It is not true to say that we are only targeting those who served in the previous government. I can also confirm that there are investigations going on pertaining to senior members who are serving in government. Those are mere investigations. It doesn't mean that when you are being investigated, you are guilty. No. And I'm aware that people are making political pronouncements on corruption. Some of those pronouncements are based on bitterness. There is no basis whatsoever. We should not continue the past trajectory where you just make weird and wild allegations without evidence. To build a reputation takes time. To destroy it, it takes a few seconds. So we must be careful the way we want to use the fight against corruption. Because you may be labeled corrupt when you are not corrupt. And when you have no means to defend yourself, the people will believe that you are corrupt. Those who are making allegations must bring tangible evidence against those they are making allegations, rather than making weird and wild allegations against anybody. It will not assist anybody. Mr. Chairman, I would like to thank all of us who have supported the motion. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As time now is past 1840 hours, I interrupt proceedings and commit work stands adjourned. The Committee of Supply will report progress and ask leave to sit again. Madam Speaker, I have to report to the House that the Committee of Supply on the estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year 1st January 2024 to 31st December 2024 has gone through heads 26 and 39 and has made progress and asked leave to sit again.
Day for resumption of committee work.
Tomorrow, Madam Speaker.
Committee work to resume tomorrow. The House is now adjourned.
We now take a look at business that has been considered from the time business resumed at 14:30. So when business resumed, Madam First Deputy Speaker did make 4 announcements. In her first announcement, Madam First Deputy Speaker informed the House that she had received communication to the effect that in the absence of Her Honor the Vice President, who is attending to other government business, the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Honorable Jack Mwimbu MP, has been appointed acting leader of government business in the House from today, 30th November 2023, until further notice. The second announcement, Honorable Madam First Deputy Speaker recognized the presence in the public gallery of Dominican Sisters of the Catholic Church based at International Training Center, Novitiate, for Sisterhood Formation in Woodlands, Lusaka District. Madam First Deputy Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, warmly welcomed the guests to the National Assembly. And the other announcement that Madam First Deputy Speaker made is where she recognized the presence in the public gallery of the Zambian Scouts Group Association from Lusaka District. Madam First Deputy Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly, warmly welcomed the guests to the National Assembly. Thereafter, Madam Speaker did make her last announcement in which she recognized the presence in the public gallery of Mr. Gildo Marshat, a PhD candidate at the International Institute of Social Studies based at the Erasmus University, Rotterdam in Netherlands. Madam First Deputy Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, warmly welcomed the guests to the National Assembly. After the four announcements were made, the House went on to consider question for oral answer under Standing Order 76, and this was question 154, which came from Mr. Hudson Maveta, who is Kankoyo Member of Parliament, and his question was directed to the Minister of Defense, and the acting minister did respond. That is Honorable Mike Imposha, who is the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation. And this question was in three parts. In part A, what led to the killing of a 15-year-old boy of Kankoyo Mine Township in Mufdira District on Monday, 20th November 2023 by Zambia National Service officers? And the acting minister did respond by giving a brief background of what led to the ZNS officers finding themselves in the area. The minister did state that command is closely following the matter. In B, what urgent measures are being taken to safeguard the lives of citizens in general? The minister did respond that troops have been cautioned to observe maximum restraint as they carry out their duties. And in part C, what punitive measures will be taken against the erring ZNS officers? The acting minister did respond that first of all, the troops have been withdrawn from Manin Kankoyo, and that internal investigations are ongoing. The minister also stated that police are yet to ascertain the source and cause of death. So that was the one question for oral answer under Standing Order 76 that the House considered. The House went on to consider the Marriage Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 13 of 2023. This bill passed the committee stage with amendments. Report stage is expected to be taken tomorrow, 1st December 2023. And thereafter, the Trademarks Bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2023, passed the third reading stage. The House then resolved into Committee of Supply for the consideration of estimates of revenue and expenditure, including capital and constitutional and statutory, and we did see resumption of committee work on Head 26, that's the Ministry of Information and Media, and a total budgetary allocation of 190,845,686 kwacha has been agreed to. Thereafter, Head 39, Smart Zambia Institute, was considered, and a total budgetary allocation of 458,930,430 kwacha has been agreed to. And at the time committee work was interrupted, Head 87 was under consideration, that's the Anti-Corruption Commission. Of course, we did see the acting leader of government business conclude debating to this motion, but we do expect this head to be concluded tomorrow when committee work resumes. So basically that's the business that the House has considered today. And so on behalf of my sign language interpreter Chola Kauma, and from me Taza Piri and the entire production crew, it's a pleasant evening, and continue watching Parliament Television.